What does flat, web, sugar, income, payroll, capital, gains, gift, sales, usury and luxury have in common? Well, of course, we're talking about tax. We need to change the image of taxation for a journey that begins with new questions. When we talk about taxation, why do we always think about money and boring papers? Why its visual and symbolic representation always entails boredom and complexity? So what about the past? Once it was death and taxes. But what about kids and taxes? Are we afraid of boredom and dropouts? So we talked about the past, but what about the future? From tax evasion to space invasion. How taxation is going to change when companies will operate from Mars? Anyway, if I had to describe taxation to a kid, I would say it's like water that flows underneath the ground. You can't hear the sound, but you can witness all the green around. Taxation is such a thing that if everyone paid it, everyone would profit. So let's join us, Berlin 2020.
First belief tax system was in place in ancient Egypt about 5,000 years ago, and a lot has changed since. In Bible's book of Genesis, Joseph was telling the people of Egypt how to divide their crop and how to give a portion of it to the Pharaoh. During the Ottoman rule in Serbia, there was a widespread practice of danak u krvi, or so-called blood tax, where children were forcibly taken from their parents in order to serve the Ottomans. In one point of US history, Donald Duck was the official mascot of the IRS. So, why am I blabbing all these random informations about taxation? Well, the story of taxes is the story of people who impose them, who pay them, and frankly, who avoid them. So, if you want to hear more interesting facts about taxation, and if you want to get an anthropological perspective on modern taxation, be sure to join us for our session.
About 100 years ago, Joseph Schumpeter, a wise man and also incumbent finance minister of Austria, stated that the organization of tax reflected on a nation's social structure, its culture, even its spirit. In my challenge to you, I wonder what makes businesses talk and practice taxes differently from one time to another. What does their tax practices say about their role in society? 3 ethnographic anecdotes to illustrate a current change. In a recent research project, I interviewed CFOs of Sweden's largest corporations. One of them, representing a corporation known for being very cost-conscious, said, 10 years ago, we could acquire another business only due to tax issues. This is not the case anymore. Now it is entirely business-related. Second anecdote. In 2011, the head of the Swedish tax administration suggested that corporations should have tax as part of their corporate social responsibility. The Swedish business community reacted strongly against. They said that tax should be according to laws, rules and regulations, period. Third anecdote. The Dutch government has recently asked for a code of conduct for business to be drafted by a philosopher and also tax professor. Such a task would never have been given him in 2011, he says. So what has made businesses more soft on tax? What do you think?
So why am I interested in taxes? I'm curious about the lack of marketing efforts by corporations showing that they pay taxes, make it visible to the public. Sound naive? If you think about it, many corporations like to be seen as donating to charity. And we hear when they sponsor big sports teams and people wear their jerseys with their logos on it, or music events, things like that. So they like to be seen as doing something good for the community around them. At the same time, we've never heard any corporation boasting about their tax payments. Sound naive? Yes, but it also tells us something about our own values and beliefs regarding taxes.